Welcome back to Dying Out Loud. I'm your host, Kristopher Syme. If you're new here, thanks for finding your way to this sacred space. And if you've been listening to us for a while, welcome back. This podcast was born after I was diagnosed with stage 4 incurable colon cancer. Since then, I've been on palliative care chemo. That's treatment not to cure the cancer, but basically to slow it down and to buy me some time. And in that time, I've chosen to do something that a lot of people put off. I'm having all of the conversations that matter most. Each episode is a reflection of that choice, a conversation with somebody who changed me, someone who I love, and someone who I want to thank. Those were originally goodbye letters, and there are 74 of them. I wrote them during chemo, radiation, and recovery. But instead of waiting until the end, I decided to say those things now, out loud, while I still can. So this is a very personal space, and I welcome you to it. It's tender, it's honest, and it's driven by one belief: that we shouldn't wait to say anything that matters. Thank you for being here, and let's jump into today's conversation. This episode is a celebration of a friendship that has lasted nearly 2 decades. My good friend Mandika and I met in 2006 through a mutual friend who eventually moved away, which created an awesome space for our bond to grow deeper. Over the years, we've stood by each other through life's biggest transitions: moves, job changes, marriages, and divorces. This conversation is going to explore the consistency, the loyalty, and the deep connection that defines our friendship. Mandi, welcome.
Thank you so much. I am so incredibly honored to be here. Thank you.
And just to let people know, this is the first time that we've seen each other's faces in like 3 years,
I,
I think. So
well,
this
I'm,
is truly a
yeah,
reunion.
yeah, it is a reunion. It's so incredibly special. Yeah, I don't know, but I find that to be one of the most magical things about our friendship is that despite the longevity, should it be like months or years, like I don't know, it just never feels like any time has passed. Like, the dialogue
I
and the
agree.
catching up may date back a bit. And we may go deeper, into certain things just because we haven't been totally in the loop, but it just
Yeah,
always feels so easy.
I absolutely agree. It's so interesting to me that, it always feels like it was just yesterday that we were having coffee at Mildred's.
I
And
know.
yeah, it amazes me that we can like just jump right back in. And obviously, in between those times, we know if either of us needs the other for a listening ear or help or rescue from something, that we're both there
Always.
always. And, we both have busy lives. But that's why I think this conversation is so important, because we're taking a break from those busy lives and we're just reconnecting and getting back in touch and seeing how things are going. I'd love to hear just how things are going for you. What's new? I'm sure there's plenty.
I know. Yeah, my life kind of turned on its head, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I did a bit of a 180. But yeah, after being in New York many years, I moved back to Kansas City in 2018, and with the anticipation of being there a couple of years and then making my way further west to get to LA, and then COVID hit. And life just kind of froze. And being in the apparel industry, I mean, the industry took quite a hit, so it was just very unstable. So I really wasn't going anywhere for a hot second. And before I knew it, I'd been back for 6 years. So
Wow,
I know. So,
that's
anyways,
crazy.
the moment came last May 2024, and I got a job opportunity, and it was just nuts. Within 3 weeks, like I'd signed the offer letter. I'd already broken the lease with an anticipation of like hoping something would happen, but because I had a couple of different irons in the fire. But yeah, by mid-June, I was living out here.
That's
So
so awesome. And you're close to Eva and David now, right?
I am, which is just a complete dream. I mean, obviously, just acclimating to a new city, which I know you can appreciate having moved to Philly, it takes a second. And I have to keep reminding myself that even, moving to New York, I mean, it took me, and granted, I was younger, but it took me a good 2 solid years before I really felt like it was mine, and I wasn't, I don't know, like I could call it
Yeah,
home-ish, and then that just intensified over time. But having Eva and David closest, just so wonderful. So, I mean, we're honestly about 20 minutes apart on a highway,
that's so awesome.
which out here they call a freeway. And if you call it a highway, they automatically know that you're not from here.
Whoops.
So,
I
yeah.
think that would be hard for me to adapt to too, because we call them
Oh my
highways
God.
here.
I find I'm like, I lived in New York for 11 years and I was born in, not, excuse me, I was born out here, oddly enough. I don't know if you knew that, but grew up
I
in Kansas
did.
City. So KC's forever home. But yeah, it's highway. So
And how about your parents? Your dad's still in Las Vegas and your mom's still here, not far from
yes.
me?
Yes, my dad's in Las Vegas. He's actually driving out here as we speak. So he's
Oh,
out here this
great.
weekend. Yeah, we're celebrating his birthday was last week and Eva's is coming up. So we'll have a good catch up this weekend. And then my mom's still in Kansas City. So it's tough having us all kind of sprinkled around, but
Sure.
honestly, that's been how we've operated for many, many years. I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, at least Eva and I are in the same town now because we used to be on opposite coasts.
Yeah,
So
I can only imagine that's good. I mean, you and Eva have like an extra special relationship,
we're
and
so
I was
close.
so happy whenever you said that you were living in LA, and I knew that you were close to her. So
It's
um,
so nice.
that built-in
So
comfort
nice.
is got to be good, especially after, I mean, you lived in New York like for a full decade. I feel like
11
that's
years.
like makes you an official New Yorker,
I
You
know.
have
I
to be
still
there
have
for a
so,
decade.
yes, I know. Yeah, I have such an incredible soft spot. And it's interesting because there's this strange stigma about how New Yorkers don't like in LA and LA doesn't like New York necessarily. And I don't know. I mean, having put roots in both, there's just something unique about both places, So I mean, obviously, right now, I would still probably say I prefer New York, but I had such a longer time there. So
Yeah.
that's not a very fair statement to LA at all yet. So, yeah.
Well, you have to make sure that today, when you see Eva and David, to please tell them both hi. The last time I saw them was when I lived in the city market, and they actually came
Yes.
over. You guys all came over on Christmas Day, I believe, and that was
Yes.
the last time I got to see them. So
Yes.
I would love to. Well, I'd love for us all to be able to get together again at some point in time. So if you both ever find yourself visiting Mom
Oh,
in Kansas City,
yes.
we will have a massive reunion. There's tons
I
of great new
love
food
that.
places to take you to.
I
So.
have to tell you, I still follow a lot of spots on Instagram, and as new places keep popping up, I continue to follow them. Like, and that happened even when I moved to New York. I just like KC just kept flourishing, and
Absolutely.
I came back for the 6 years and I was in the crossroads the entire time and just loved it. And I've been away for about a year and what, 2, 3 months, and things are just continuing to just bloom. So it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's such a great pulse there. And I just think it's continuing.
Have you followed at all, Travis and Taylor?
Yes, yes, yeah, I'm excited for them. I will say I love Taylor Swift. I think she's an amazing woman. I'm not a huge Swiftie. I mean, there are definitely songs I like, but I just love her as a person. I think she's
Yeah.
incredible. So
Well,
I'm
I
very
am a
excited for
Swiftie,
them.
and actually, the year after I got my diagnosis was the Eras tour, and it came to Kansas City, and Anthony got second row seats for me to see the Eras tour, so I could
I
almost reach out and touch Taylor, and
That's
I got,
amazing.
and Anthony, both of us got ticket or not tickets, but pictures of Taylor that looked like we were actually having a personal audience with her, like we were in
Wow.
just that small of a space. Mind
Yeah.
you, there were, I think, 75,000 people there
Ah,
for that concert. So we weren't in a private space, but it was so awesome to,
that's
I mean,
amazing.
from the time she first launched that debut album, like I raised my kids on that music, and they even recall like we had Taylor Swift sing-alongs like every time we were in the car
Wow.
together. So, and then I don't know if you know this, but whenever I lived at Two Light, Travis lived at Two Light, and we lived on the
You've
same
told me that
floor.
once.
Yeah.
Yes. That
So
is
it's
crazy.
so crazy because he would never remember me in a million years. But obviously, I mean, I recall vividly like every elevator ride, every conversation. And
Wow.
they just, Mahomes and Kelsey, they just opened a new steakhouse right across the street from us.
No
So
way.
it's
I've been
booked
keeping tabs
solid.
on that. Is it?
Yeah, Anthony is trying really hard. He's been in contact with some folks there to try to get
Wow.
me in for my 52nd birthday. Can you
Oh
believe
my gosh,
52nd is,
October. Yes,
yeah,
I
it's like a
know
month
it.
away. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
I think I'm going to celebrate my 50th though instead of my 52nd,
Do
just
it.
for fun.
Do
So
you?
I don't need
Yeah.
to go all the
Oh,
way back to 39 anymore, but I'll go
I
back to
know.
50.
I know. I love that. Oh, that's so exciting. So, speaking of reunions with Eva, I was going to tell you, so we alternate Christmas every year, and this
Yeah.
Christmas we'll be in Kansas City with our
Oh my
mom.
God.
So, I would love to squeeze
Yes.
in some time for either like breakfast or brunch or a coffee or whatever works for
Absolutely.
you.
You can
We'd
come
love to see
downtown. I'll
you.
come to OP. We will do it, and we'll all five get together and
Oh, I would
and share
love
some
that.
food and some drinks. It will be
I
so
would
great.
love that.
Also, I just want to hug. Like I
I
miss a
know,
good
me
hug from
too.
my Mandica.
Oh,
So
I would love that. I would love
yeah,
that.
I got
When I
chills just thinking about
I
it. I
know.
got goosebumps from head to toe right now. So
Well, I think that day when you did meet them and you were living down in the river market, right? City
yeah,
market.
yeah,
I had come over earlier and I remember because I have a picture holding a mug on your couch and then
yep.
they came to pick me up.
That's
So
right.
yes,
That is exactly right.
I have that picture too. So
It's
yeah.
um it's so funny because when I think about like the time blurs like in the early days, like I clearly remember how we were introduced to each other. Jenny did that. And I think our bonding almost was a little bit of trauma bonding, if you recall, because she vanished on both of us, just disappeared one day and moved to go live with her boyfriend, who I think is her husband now. I've lost a little bit of track of her, but it's really interesting because I do think that that did a great job of creating space. And obviously, we've figured out our own path since then. But we had so many amazing times. Do you remember like
Yeah.
Crossroads concerts? And
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean,
yes.
yes, just all
That
of the things.
that picture, I should have sent it to you, but that picture just popped up in my memories a month or so ago. And it was us at the, I think it was Joss Stone. Oh no,
Yes,
no. Well, I think we did that show,
I was
but
going
then
to
there
say
was
we
another
definitely
one
did
with
that.
Modest Mouse.
Yes,
And
right.
Jessica came with me. And I remember
Yep.
we left because we were so angry they weren't singing Float On. And then we left like angry. And then as we're driving away, we were like, wait, but what if they're singing it now?
Right,
So
right. That's the
we
last
looped
song
the
they sing.
we looped the block and we were like, nope. And then it was like, yeah, we
Okay,
just drove on.
as you were describing that, I just got another memory that popped into my head. Do
Okay.
you remember a time that we went to Missy B's and we were there until like 1 or 2 in the
Oh
morning?
God, I know where this
And
is
we were going
going.
to walk back to our apartment,
Oh,
and
that.
you
Yes.
all got into a taxi cab. I'm not going to tell the rest of the story because it's a little bit lewd and laborious for this family oriented podcast, but you know
Yes,
what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
Oh my gosh, I recall clear as day, like the screams, like
Screaming.
Chris.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So, I mean, again, just to keep things very PG, but we Ubers did not exist back then. So we
Right.
were in a full-on cab. And the
Yep.
cab driver started getting a little strange and creepy. And I think he paused at one point. Like, I don't even know if he was at a light, to be
He
honest.
pulled off on like a side road and just stopped
Yeah.
the car and
And
got
I
out.
had a friend visiting, my friend Angela from St. Louis, and we had had such a great night with you guys. And we just bolted out of the car and started like running and screaming, trying to, get a hold of you
Yeah,
guys. And thankfully, you were still within earshot.
absolutely. Oh
You were
yeah.
still within
We turned
earshot.
around and started heading back like immediately when we
That was
heard that. We're like,
so
"Oh my God, what's going
creepy.
on?" That was creepy. That's probably the
Oh,
worst like taxi or Uber story that I'm personally linked to in the
very
world. And I
scary.
remember that evening vividly, even though I know that
Yeah.
I probably had way too much to drink prior
Oh
to
my gosh.
leaving Missy B's. But all of those types of things, that was such a great time of life because I just had come out at 31. So I was still like figuring out
Yeah.
like who I was, and people like you who welcomed me in and supported me for just being myself. And we had such a connection. I think friendships like ours really boosted my personal confidence and kind of allowed me to really figure out not only who I was, but what I stood for and what I wanted my kids to stand for. And
Sure.
they are both fully grown and they both have their own children now.
Wow.
Like I've
That's
one,
crazy.
two, three, four grandchildren. So my son and his wife have
Oh,
a daughter. She turns 2 on Christmas Day. And my daughter has a 7-year old, and that is from her high school boyfriend. And she and her wife,
Uh-huh.
they adopted 2 children. They fostered 3 boys, and they
Wow.
did that for a full year. And
Okay.
the oldest boy was about to turn 18, so he was no longer going to be awarded the state.
Okay.
The middle boy they adopted.
Okay.
So, but both the middle
Yeah.
boy and the oldest boy, they both live with the girls. And
Great.
it's like having 2 grown grandchildren, which is insane, but they're the
Yeah.
best kids.
That's
We've moved
awesome.
4 times in this building in 3 lights since we've lived here, like just
Have
looking
you
for the right
really?
floor plan and the right amount of
Sure.
space. They helped us move every single time.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
yeah, it's just amazing. And my younger grandson he plays football and soccer. Actually, today he had a football game. We missed his football game this morning, but we try to get to as many of them as possible. He's actually really good at seven
That's
years old.
amazing.
So
So the boys are brothers.
yeah, the boys are
That's
brothers.
amazing that they're still
Yeah.
together. That's
It the
that's really
youngest of
special.
them actually did go to live with the maternal grandmother,
Okay.
which is fine. All the boys keep, they have an older brother as well, but all the boys still keep in touch. And the younger and the older boys, they're allowed obviously to come over and hang out with their brothers anytime. So,
Yeah.
but the older boys have just kind of picked up my grandson Anthony as like their little brother as well. And
That's
he
amazing.
loves having big brothers. It's the most awesome thing to see.
Well, I
So,
remember hearing all the stories about Anthony, and I just remember even hearing stories about Kennedy, like
yeah.
way back in the day. Because I remember once being at your apartment in Westport, if you can remember, and
Oh,
you
I
had them over
remember.
for pool day. I remember
Yeah.
all of us playing in the pool. I mean, they were kids.
Yep.
That's
Little. Like
crazy.
Jacob was probably like 5 or 6 years old then. So, and now he is in the army and he jumps out of airplanes like all the time. It's insane.
When I talk to friends and hear about how grown their children are, I'm always like, that's amazing. But in my brain, I'm like, but I haven't aged though, right?
But you
I'm
haven't. Like,
I'm
seriously, I
still
feel like
there.
you look exactly the same that you did when I met
Oh,
you.
oh, well, thank you. That's
I
very
need to
sweet.
know
But
those secrets because I do not look the same as
oh,
I
well,
did.
that's very sweet. No, but it's just crazy. I don't know because it makes me realize how much time has gone by, and I'm like, but I haven't gotten older, right? Like I'm still the same age I was when they were little kids, right? So
I,
yeah.
you know, I still like to think in my head, despite everything, that I am still in my 30s. And I got really lucky to find someone during the pandemic that didn't mind hanging out with somebody that was 10 years older than he is. And
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, and when it was in the thick of it, you couldn't meet people. So it was
I
pointless to have
know.
a dating app at that point in time because
Sure.
you couldn't go and have dinner with someone in Philadelphia. Like you can imagine in a city like that and New
Right.
York, we were all literally locked down. Like we
I
probably were the
know.
most locked down area of the United States.
And especially
And
in New York, you're locked down in a small space, you
oh
know?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
Yeah,
was in I think 800 square feet, 1 bedroom apartment, which that's probably bigger than some of
that
the
is
studios in
big
New York.
for
But it
sure.
still
Yes.
felt so small and just like
Oh,
living in a box. And yeah, I never even got to know my neighbors that lived in the building because we just couldn't even talk to each other.
yeah.
So whenever Anthony and I ended up buying a house in Philly. We only
I
lived there
remember
for
that.
6 months because we
Yeah.
traveled all the time. And then we moved back home to be closer to the family after my dad passed away, which the anniversary of that is in 4 days, actually. It's four
Wow.
years in 4 days. So
Wow.
September's a really shit month. Sorry
Yeah.
for any kids listening, but both of my cancer diagnoses came in the month of
Oh,
September, and the anniversary of both of them is less than 2 weeks away. So
wow.
it's a
Okay.
heavy month for
Yeah, it
sure,
is. Yeah, it's
which is
understandable.
why conversations like these are so important during this month because
Yeah,
this is usually when the depression sets in and it sticks with
sure.
me till like February. I'm not
Wow.
letting it happen this year. We're going to
No.
make the most of every single month.
And you've got your birthday and an amazing restaurant to look forward
Yeah,
to.
exactly,
And a
exactly.
puppy reunion in December.
That's right. Which,
Yes.
hey, I am definitely, that is now in my mental calendar, and I am
Yes.
absolutely looking forward to that.
Me
Quite
too.
honestly, I'm more excited about seeing you at Christmas than I am about celebrating Christmas. So there you have
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Do you, I'm literally trying to remember if I can even recall the very first time that we met, and it's all fuzzy. Do you remember that? I mean, I know Jenny introduced us, but were we out and
Yeah.
about someplace
I
or?
think we were definitely out and about. I'm almost wondering, cause yeah, because I remember again, I'm just going back. I remember going to
Yeah.
your holiday party at Department Zero. So at that point, I definitely knew you. And at
Yep.
that point, Jenny had moved. I remember you hosting a St. Patty's party at your apartment, but at that point I knew you. But Jenny was at that party, so we're getting a little closer. But yeah,
Yep.
I remember you. I can't believe some of the things that I remember. I remember you made amazing green cinnamon rolls. They were delicious.
They definitely were not amazing,
They
but
were
they were
amazing.
green.
Oh my God, they were green. The icing, yes.
Yes.
But you hosted a great party, breakfast and everything. Because I don't know if we tried to go see the parade in Westport or what, but we ended up making our way down to Harry's Country Club.
That's
And I
right.
have pictures of all that. Oh my gosh. Granted, I didn't have an iPhone back in the day. So I don't know. Oh, those pictures probably live like in some deep album on Facebook. And I look back at some of the stuff back there and I cringe. I'm like, someone should have taken my phone. But it must have just been a social get together. I know there were times where, I don't know, like maybe there were one happy hours in PNL, and that was a fun time to just social gather and just get a group of people together for like, someone wins a happy hour of some type.
I, I remember those, like those
Yeah.
early days at Power and Light. We had all those random happy hours that you could go and get like a couple of drinks, and they had some appetizers. I mean, finger foods that were like
Yes.
definitely lower class bar food,
Totino's,
but it was still
Totino's
free.
fish.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Totino's pizza
Chips,
bites. Yeah.
pizza bites and chips and random salsa that probably didn't have much
Exactly.
flavor to it, but the times were good. And I do
Yes.
recall those. I mean, we had no shortage of those. I also remember going up to Weston to like
Yes. The
wine. Yeah.
wine. Oh my, and the stale crackers.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love the still crackers. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was such a fun day.
It absolutely was. And we had a lot of those. We're definitely very lucky in that we made a lot of great moments happen. And those are definitely all memories that they say that whenever you die, like all of your core memories like flash before your eyes. And I know there are going to be plenty of them with you in them.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and I do think about stuff like that these days. Like there's like I have stopped fearing it. And, I know it's going to come at some point in time. That's why I think this is so important. Originally, I was going to have Anthony mail all these letters to people, like kind of post-mortem. And at the beginning of the summer, we started talking about it. I'm like, I'm still here. I passed the 9 month mark that they told me that was probably what we were looking at. I passed the 2 year mark. I'm about to
Wow.
hit 3 years.
That's
And I
amazing.
know at this point that it's just going to continue to spread slowly as long as I'm on the chemo, which is great because I still feel like there's, you know, 50 or 60 things I'd like to still do or achieve before
Yeah.
I've definitely settled into the reality. And I think that's why these conversations have just become so like cathartic for me
Yeah.
because I'm not laying in a hospital bed gasping for air. And, I don't really want a ton of people to see me in that state.
Yeah.
But, whenever I get to that point, I'm going to rest easy knowing that you're going to have a recording of this for life. We will definitely live on in eternity through this. And obviously, we have the memories of all the great things as well. And we're going to make more of them whenever you come home for Christmas.
I'm so
So,
excited.
yeah, I can't wait.
I have no doubt that continued conversations of this nature are just so nourishing and good for the soul. And the soul feeds the mind, and it just, I don't know. And then the mind feeds the body, and it's just this domino effect that
It is.
I really do think, I don't know. I want to say I'm proud of you for doing this, but I feel like that is not,
I'll take
that
that.
well, I want to say I'm proud of you for doing this, but I don't know. I think more so I'm just proud to be your friend. Like, what an amazing journey you took. I mean, to receive a letter like that, I think would be such a gift. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you kind of like turned the narrative on its head, and you're doing this, I mean, how incredibly special. But I've always found that to be true of you. I remember back in the day when I met you, I think you were working at the Gap.
I
That's
was.
how
That's
you
where
and
Jenny and I
Jenny,
met.
that's where you and
Yeah.
Jenny, yeah, I remember that. But then I remembered that marketing was just this calling you had and you were so good at it. And I always knew you were just so curious and in tune with technology. because you always just wanted to seek the next thing. And I
Oh
remembered
yeah,
asking you
I'm
IT
still that
questions
way.
along the way. Yeah. I remember being in New York, and I don't even know that I had an iPhone, but I guess I had to have, because I remember it was starting to snow and it was the first snow of the season. And I recorded it. And I don't know if we were live, considering it was like 2000 and whatever 12, or if I just recorded it and sent you a video. But I remembered like sharing that with you, and it was
Snow,
the
yes.
first
Actually,
snow
I
of the
recall.
season.
I recall
But
that.
I don't know, you just always had this, you were so in tune with technology and you were so good at it. And I don't know, and just kind of like exploring and pushing things and just being curious. And then I remembered you telling me that you joined this agency that was New York. And I think it gave you the opportunity to work remote.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you've always just been so curious. And I'm so happy for you that you did this, that it
Thank
wasn't just
you.
an idea, that it was a seed that like bloomed. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have no doubt that these conversations are just part of what's keeping you healthy and moving and motivated,
I
and just
100%
checking
agree.
off these deadlines, these, I hate to say dumb little deadlines that you're just
No,
like, I
that's
got
it's
to, I got
true.
it.
It's true.
Yeah,
And you're exactly right. Earlier, you were just saying that, how the mind feeds the body.
yeah,
You're exactly right. I honestly think had I not even decided to go the chemo route and decided just to stay and try to figure it out myself, I think the joy and the fulfillment that I've gotten over the last 3 years through things like work is actually so insane to me that I do get so much joy from work. I am truly doing something now that I have aspired to do my entire life. And it just keeps getting better. I have 5 different internal opportunities right now that are
wow,
have been presented to me, and there
wow,
are people that are clamoring to get to work with me or have me be
it's
part of their team.
amazing.
And I don't know that I've ever felt this valued or appreciated anywhere I've worked. And I've worked at a lot of great places with a lot of amazing people.
Yeah,
But something about this era of my life, it just feels right and complete.
sure.
And I
And
think
fulfilling and
yeah, it's
fulfilling.
so fulfilling, so
Yeah.
fulfilling. So I do feel extremely lucky. And I don't know if it's because I worked hard and I led with my heart through my entire career and through all of the relationships and friendships that I have been lucky enough to have. Don't know if this is like good karma coming back or what, but I am so glad for whatever reason that this has been bestowed upon me. And I am
Sure.
100% leaning into it.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
The fact that you're leaning into it just says so much about you and your character, because again, it could have been this feat that you were like, oh, that would be cool. And then, I'm more times than not seeing something through and like actually putting the pedal to the metal takes an additional effort than the germ of an idea to begin with. So the fact that you're not letting anything stop you, you're not letting the diagnosis stop you, you're not letting timelines stop you. I don't know. I more than saying I'm proud of you, I'm just so proud to be your friend.
Thank you. That's a great note to take a pause and let me share kind of the thoughts that I wrote down for you.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going
Aw,
to partially read and partially recall because I don't want to
okay.
leave any of the fun things that I noted in here. But my dearest Mandika, nearly 20 years ago, we were introduced through a mutual friend. And while we didn't know it at that time, that meeting would change the course of my life in such a beautiful way. Over the years, you've been part of so many of my big moments: moves, job changes, marriage, and divorce. And I've been so lucky to be a part of yours. You have always been, and I know you always will be, a steady presence, a safe space, and a constant support. Even when life took us in different directions, I've always known that you were only a call or a text away. Your friendship has been one of the most meaningful constants in adult life. I've missed you during the stretches when we haven't seen each other, but I've never doubted the love and the loyalty we share. And I truly want you to know how grateful I am for you and how much I value every one of our conversations every laugh that we've had the opportunity to share, and every moment of support that we've given each other. You are truly one of those rare friends who will always live in my heart. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. And now that I know you're coming home from Christmas, I know that I'm going to get one more hug. And I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh,
That was so
oh my
beautiful.
goodness.
My God, that was, thank you so much. That was so incredibly beautiful. It really is a gift. I'm so happy we've stayed in each other's lives because that takes
Me too.
effort. And there have been a variety of zip codes between us,
There
a
sure have.
variety.
There sure
And
have.
again, it's taken effort. I mean, I think staying in someone's life, I don't want to say it takes work, but it does. It takes work, but more than work, it takes effort because it's easy to just be connected by proximity. And
Yep.
we had that, but
Yeah,
then
we were
like
lucky
I moved
for a
away.
while.
Yeah, I moved back, you moved away, you moved back, like I moved away again. I don't know, it takes effort, and it takes just a decision, like
Yeah.
just deciding you want to be connected to someone, to stay connected to
Yeah.
someone. So
It's one of those things when you're lucky enough to find something that you treasure, like our friendship, you do things to keep that ember burning over the course of time. Even if that's just like a random Merry Christmas, I've been thinking about you. I hope to see you soon. I want to ask you if you could instill a bit of advice to the folks that are listening, what kind of advice would you share with somebody who wants to know how to keep a friendship alive?
gosh, I think just being involved. But again, I know that the capacity of involvement ebbs and flows because we all have busy lives, and sometimes they're busier than others, and sometimes the busyness doesn't align with the other person. But I don't know, just being invested, being involved, not taking the friend for granted. And I also think there's something to be said for just having common ground because even though you and I have evolved as human beings through our like 30s, 40s, whatnot, I don't know, there's just been something special and magnetic between us that the bond is there and it's not
Yep,
going anywhere.
I
So
love that.
I would say just the effort of just keeping in touch. And sometimes it could just be a hello text and it may take a few months. I will say there have been times we haven't connected and you'll pop up on my phone and it is just such a I don't know if pleasant dumbs it down, but it's just such a pleasant surprise. Like it always catches me off guard and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I don't know if you're wishing me like a happy holiday or a happy birthday, or you're just like, how's it going? I don't know. It's just such a special surprise.
I
So
love
just
that.
keeping in touch, there's effort that's involved. And I think both parties, but the important thing is that both parties have to be willing to meet in the middle where that's concerned. It's tough when it's one sided.
Agreed, agreed. Folks, I think that's a great place for us to wrap up today. It only takes something as simple as a text message, which, mind you, only takes a second to send.
Yeah.
So, if I'm going to add anything to what Mandi just shared, I would say send that text message as soon as you stop listening to this episode and rekindle whatever the distance in time has been. It might be 3 days, it might be 3 months, and it might be 3 years, but you can be the person that reaches out and you can have this conversation and maybe invite a connection in real life again. And that's my challenge to anybody that's listening today is to do that. Pick up the phone, FaceTime somebody. Almost every single person in the world at this point has a video feature on their phone. Look at someone's face and make a connection. Friendship is one of the greatest treasures in life, especially the kind that lasts through decades of change. Treasure yours and rekindle them today. That's where we're going to end. Mandi, thanks for joining me. And
Thank you for
folks, we'll
having
catch
me.
you again next week on Dying Out Loud.